Hi, this is Mitchell Frankel. Today I'm going to be talking about American car culture. Jacob will be joining us later. We're doing this in two separate recordings to stay far apart so we don't get each other's nasty germs. I hope everyone is doing great. Everyone's staying safe, washing your hands, wearing masks, and all that great stuff. So next slide, cars and people. So we as Americans, we love cars, we love trucks, we love Jeeps. And in America, we use cars in many different ways. And on the right, you have a 1971 Chevelle. Up top, from top to bottom, you have a Nissan Leaf, a Jeep CJ7, an Audi R8, and a GMC Sierra pickup truck. So in this presentation, we're going to go over how these cars and people interact, why people drive them, and how they use them. We're also going to discuss how we as Americans driving cars has an impact on the environment. So next slide, sports cars. That vehicle right there is a Corvette ZR1. It is the closest sibling to a muscle car just because of the nature of the horsepower it has. So the engine underneath the hood has a lot of power, but it handles better than a muscle car. So going around turns, it hugs corners better. You're less likely to roll it. You can go very fast and take turns at a whole lot faster than a muscle car. Usually people like them in very bright colors. People that drive this, usually they have a lot of money. Usually they're pretty young, and usually people like to go very fast and sometimes sadly get speeding tickets. Next up, so horsepower. So horsepower, what it means is how much power the engine has. So let's use two cars for example. A Dodge Charger. A Dodge Charger has a lot of power. You guys have probably all seen Fast and Furious. The black car, that's Dom's car, the one that he's driving in the right, that's a 1969 Dodge Charger, which probably has about 1,000 horsepower. So it's very fast. Let's talk about a Toyota Camry. That car probably has like 130 horsepower. It has enough to go places, but not enough to rock you back in your seat. So next slide. The opposite of horsepower, like I was saying. So on the left, you have a Toyota Camry. On the right, you have a minivan. So minivans are great, though. You can fit a bunch of people in them. You can go on road trips. You can put a lot of stuff in the back. They get pretty good gas mileage. And as Americans, you see a lot of moms, dads driving these cars because they're great for families and they're very safe. And usually when you see a minivan, you think of someone who's a family person. In America, people like to take road trips, and minivans are very comfortable. And on the left, you have a Toyota Camry. So the Toyota Camry, yes, it's not an American car, but America, they are produced. The biggest Toyota factory is in Tennessee, so they are produced and made in America, although it is not an American car company. Toyota Camry is a very reliable vehicle. If you're looking for a car just to get to and from, if you're about business and your priorities are straight and you have a nice job and you just need to get to and from. They get very good gas mileage. They will never break down on you, and you could get over 500,000 miles on them. Like you can go forever. Very safe too. Next slide. The evolution of muscle cars. So on the left, you have a 1965 Ford Mustang. The first Mustang was actually made in 1964, but it never made it to production, so they're very rare. So 1965 was the first official year, and Ford was the first one to come up with the concept of a muscle car, of putting a large engine, which was usually found in something like a pickup truck, and putting in a smaller vehicle, which a smaller vehicle and a bigger engine equals going faster. On the right, you have a 2020 Mustang, and you can kind of see a difference, but overall, muscle cars have not changed all that much. Yes, in the 60s and 70s, they were made out of complete steel, and to find plastic on it, you really had to search. Nowadays, they're very plasticky, they have foam, and they're built completely different. But as Americans, when you drive a muscle car, it shows you're passionate about what you drive, you enjoy going fast, and you really enjoy that American made steel, just that overall beast of a vehicle. Next up, we have Jeep. Jeep is the most American thing you could possibly drive because the top left hand corner, that's a Willys Jeep. That Jeep single handedly won the war. Not just the Jeep, the soldiers that drove it too. But that Jeep allowed soldiers to go farther and carry more equipment. And that vehicle was so light that if it flipped over, the troops could just get out, flip it over, and keep on trucking along. Below that picture, you have a newer Jeep JK, which has 4 doors, which a lot of moms nowadays drive them. But you can lift them up. You can modify them just like you could that of Legos. So those vehicles can pretty much go anywhere still. You can point them and they will go. Jeeps have become a little more plush. As you can see in the picture, that's the new interior. It comes with full leather, sometimes a touchscreen. The Jeep during the war did not have that. So, next up, we have trucks. And this is when you're going to click the next audio link where Jacob takes over. Thank you for listening and have a great, not break, but be safe.